Wow, man, before we go any further, I just got to say the attention to detail they have put on just the recruiting aspect in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hope all of you are having a great week. Hope all of you are having a great Wednesday. If not, hope this video can make it a little bit better. And by the way, happy early 4th of July. We live in the greatest country in the world, and tomorrow we're going to celebrate that. If you do participate in any firework activities, just try to be safe. Fireworks are not anything to play around with, and we're not going to get into all that because it's besides the point. The point of this video is we're here to react to the college football Dynasty trailer. Or technically, I believe the exact wordage they're using is it's a quote-unquote Dynasty deep dive. I have no idea what this is about. I haven't seen it, been saving my live reaction for this video. I've had a couple of you send me the link to this on Twitter, and I noticed it's 6 minutes long, and I'm kind of curious, and I said, you know what? We might as well make a video out of it. We're going to get straight into it, and at the end of this video, after we get done reacting, we got to talk about some other stuff involving this game and the channel and what we're going to do going forward. Let's get into this Dynasty deep dive. I'm just going to their YouTube channel, and we're going to watch it from there.
Hey everyone, Kirk Herbstreit here with EA Sports College Football 25, back for another deep dive. This time we're talking about everyone's favorite mode, Dynasty. Online Dynasty in College Football 25 can accommodate up to 32 teams, and you can play with friends for up to 30 seasons. Today,
Wait a minute. 32 teams. So this means you're actually going to be able to play. I know this might sound dumb here, but you're going to be able to do like a real legit online Dynasty against other real people. Huh, that's interesting. I thought this entire time the Dynasty mode was going to be offline. I was just assuming the only way you could play online versus somebody else is in a quick play match, something like that, or the Ultimate Team mode. But apparently not, and this may not be new news to y'all, but it is to me.
we'll take a closer look at the new 12-team college football playoff, recruiting, the transfer portal, and a ton of customization options to make your program unique. College football has seen seismic changes over the past few years, and in EA Sports College Football 25, you can experience this new landscape while building your program the way you want. The 2024 season marks the debut of the new 12-team college football playoff, and you can play it first in the game months before the real thing. You could be the first coach to lead your school through the new 12-team playoff and hoist the college football playoff trophy. Recruiting is the lifeblood of college football, and in a world of unlimited transfers, managing your dynasty roster has never been more important. Evaluate your needs and opportunities for talent upgrades at the start of each season. The best way to build a powerhouse is to recruit through the high school ranks. So let's fill up your recruiting board. Each year, over 3,500 high school recruits are generated from all over the country, with certain regions representing real-world hotspots for blue-chip talent, like South Florida and Metro Atlanta.
Sorry I haven't said too much up until this point. I'm just taking it all in. The recruiting thing, that's really interesting to me. And even dating back, I'm trying to remember to the old NCAA games when you could recruit in those, NCAA 14, 13, 12, and 11. I always thought that was one of the best parts of the game. Hopefully they make it realistic and you have to put real life strategies into recruiting, because I think that'd be awesome. And that's what Herbstreit just got done saying. Yeah, you got to choose wisely who you go after hard and who you recruit hard, because, for example, if you're, let's just say, Kirby Smart in Georgia, you'd much rather recruit the in-state guy harder than a kid from, let's just say, oh, I don't know, Washington or California. You see what I'm saying?
Do research to find recruits that best fit your program and determine who you can realistically land. A recruit's interest in your school is decided by 14 different pitch grades like proximity to home, playing time, and brand exposure.
Okay. You see, we just got done talking about that. The proximity to home, and also, I like that part, the playing time factor. When I was going through the recruiting process myself when I was in high school, that is something I talked about with all the coaches. Hey, do I have an opportunity to play as a freshman? Will I have an opportunity to play this year, next year, or so on, whenever? What's my chances of starting or getting some playing time?
So you'll need to discover how your program's pitch grades align with your recruit's desires, in addition to scouting for talent. Some players have a deal breaker requirement, and if your program cannot provide, the recruit will lock you out.
Deal breaker. If you don't pay me $2 million, I can already see it coming. Although that's probably not going to happen in the game, but in real life, yeah, that's a deal breaker for a lot of these kids involved in the NIL. And I know we're laughing about it, making a joke about it, but in reality, it's kind of sad.
Deal breakers also drive a player's decision to enter the transfer portal. Monitor at-risk players and get one last chance to convince your favorites to stay. Track your recruits as they narrow down their top schools. Pitch a prospect to gain more interest, and then set up school visits when the timing is right. It's crucial to remain in their top 10, then 8, then 5 to finally be part of their top 3. As a recruit trims down to the top 8, you can attempt to increase your appeal. If your school doesn't have exactly what the prospect is looking for, you can try to sway their opinion in your favor. Plan visits that elevate a recruit's experience, like pairing a quarterback visit with a wide receiver visit at the same time.
Wow. Man, before we go any further, I just got to say the attention to detail they have put on just the recruiting aspect in this game, I think they're doing a great job with this. They are really getting down to the nit and gritty of the details. I mean, we're talking about not just a couple parts of recruiting. We're talking about, oh yeah, well, you need to pair this guy up with the quarterback that you're also recruiting if you want a better chance of landing them. Sheesh, man. You got to give it to EA. They've been putting in some serious work. And unlike some other companies out here, I actually feel like, granted, I don't really play video games at all, but I feel like, and I think the community gets the sense and vibes, that EA actually cares about this game. Who am I throwing shade at here? No one in particular, but if you played NBA 2K growing up, you know what I'm talking about. Ever since, and for everyone it's different, but for myself, I'd say 2K17. 2K, the company, they haven't given a crap about their game at all. And more importantly, they haven't given a flying crap about their consumers, and that's been the biggest detriment to their downfall. However, it seems like EA Sports, they have their flaws, but who doesn't? It seems like they've been listening to us and they're going to give us what we want. Just from this trailer alone, granted, of course it's going to look good. It's a trailer, deep dive, whatever you want to call it. Things are looking good.
It's crucial to keep an eye on the transfer portal when it opens in the offseason to round out your roster with talent you couldn't land from recruiting. Add portal prospects to your board just like you would with recruiting, but expect quick decisions as transfers have a shorter timeline to land a new home. Conference realignment is a hot topic in college football. And with custom conferences in EA Sports College Football 25, Dynasty is yours to control. See what a 20-team super conference might look like, or revert to the traditional conference alignment. Shape the conference size and membership and set custom conference rules, set up divisions, and more. Once you've settled your conference options, it's time to select your team. Begin with a highly ranked team and dominate at the top with repeat recruiting and playoff success. Or build from the ground up with a smaller program and prove you have what it takes to go from an unknown to postseason favorite.
Since I'm thinking about it, let's talk about it, and it's a good point since they talked about, do you want to start out with a lesser team and build your way up, or start out with a notable brand? Number one, do you guys want to see us do some Dynasty mode on the channel? And number two, who do you want to see us use? We got a big Alabama fan base on the channel. However, there's a part of me saying, you know what, we might need to start out the Dynasty mode with old Chattanooga. Because, come on, man. If you know, you know. Chattanooga State Water Aquarium Community College. I'll touch more on that when we get done with this deep dive. Let's continue along here.
We can't talk about your dynasty without talking about your starting job. Start as an offensive or defensive coordinator and climb the ranks to head coach, or take over a program as the head coach right away. Choose from one of the 3 base coaching types to start. Your coach type will determine what coaching skill tree you start with. From there, the abilities you acquire as you progress will determine what kind of coach you develop into. Unlock additional skill trees with better abilities. Or, if you build up multiple skill trees, you can unlock hybrid trees that leverage a more diverse skill set. The coaching carousel is an important part of every coach's journey. Whether you're the head man at your dream school or working your way up, the Carousel is your way of fielding offers from other programs. Head coaches in Dynasty can actively manage their coordinator positions. So if one of your staff takes a job elsewhere or you decide to cut ties for other reasons, you can use the Carousel to replace them. Remember, even the greatest coaches need support, and every coach has a unique skill tree. It's important to think about how you want to build your staff, whether that's doubling down on your existing strengths to max out your benefits or seeking out balance for a well-rounded staff. Choose wisely. The decisions you make here will matter to your program's success and your coach's progression. The benefits of coach talents are stackable. So if your head coach and defensive coordinator have the same ability, the impact for that ability will be greater. Well, that's it for today's deep dive into Dynasty mode in EA Sports College Football 25. To make it game day every day this season, pre-order the MVP bundle.
You heard it from the man himself, Whole Herb Street. That's it. But I also saw this on Twitter. I might as well throw this in there. This was talking about the recruits. More than 3,500 recruits generated. We already heard that. But check this out. Southern California known for great quarterback talent. East Texas is going to produce big and physical wide receivers. South Florida is going to produce fast and deep threat wide receivers. So you see what they're doing here with different regions in the U.S. Certain areas are going to have better talent at that said position. Pretty interesting. Like I said, I can appreciate EA throwing in small details like that because to me, yeah, it does matter. And it's not that it's a big deal. It's just I appreciate the effort. This was on their, I believe it was their website. Everyone was tweeting about this, but yeah, you got to see it. The bullet point states, search social media. Spend some time scrolling through the player's social media to learn a little bit more about them. This will also give you a very small amount of influence when they see you like their story. Just be careful not to like an image from 3 years ago. Yeah, I think we've all been there before. Anyways, continuing along here. DM the player. Message the player directly on social media to start a conversation and learn more information about them. DMs will give you a small amount of influence as you start to build that relationship. Man, oh man, what a time to be alive. So, in a video game, you can DM a player on social media. Somebody said I'm about to DM a high school kid and say, I know what you did last summer. This is some good stuff, man. I'm glad I took some time out of my day to react to this and hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Let's talk about this stuff at the end of the video, and I want to be 100% transparent and honest with you guys about how I'm currently feeling about this game in the channel. I've been going back and forth with myself because I genuinely don't know if you guys want to see this type of content on the channel. This isn't necessarily a gaming channel, and it's why I continue to go back and forth. At the same time, though, it is a college football channel. Do I think some of you want to see the video game content on the channel? Absolutely. But my problem is I don't know how much. And let me address this. I know somebody's going to say it, and I've already seen a couple comments saying it before. Matt, just start a second channel and it'll be fine. I don't like the thought of starting a second channel because this is how it goes for most people. They start it up around some sort of niche and yeah, they post on it a couple weeks or maybe even a couple months, but eventually they abandon it and go back to their main channel. And I've always had the mentality of, hey, I want to be different, and any video I make, I'm just uploading it on the main channel. So if I do decide to make this college football video game content, we're going to start it on the main channel, and if we start posting a lot of it, I'll consider making a second channel just for specifically the game itself. And the reason I'm debating whether or not to post the content in the first place is because, guys, I don't play video games. I did growing up, but for the past 2.5 years, I've turned on my PS5 maybe once or twice. There's many more things I got to think through. I'm just letting y'all know where I'm at on all this. Ratherless, I'm pretty excited for this game. Should be fun. Should be a good time. Let me know your thoughts on all this down below. But